Mike Macdonald had his say today as he held his his first year-end postseason press conference. And here's what he had to say about moving forward and the Ryan Grubb
What
fire.
happened yesterday with moving on from Ryan took the better part of the morning, but we've had since the team meeting having a lot of opportunities to talk to our coaches and our players, and it's been really great. Just really optimistic, fired up for what's ahead of us, where the direction our team's going. I think, obviously we want to be fighting it out in the playoffs, and felt like we had a good enough team to do some damage, but we didn't earn the right to do that. So we're moving on, but we're really just excited about what's to come and working through like what the offseason is going to look like, making some tweaks, how do we evolve, all those things, all that stuff's ahead of us, how we build our roster, all those types of decisions, finding a new offensive coordinator. I mean, all those things. So it's an exciting time. Excited about the foundation that we've been able to lay, and ready to get back to work. I think just look. It's not like we weren't together on this thing the whole ride of the way. We just decided it was the right decision to make, and there's some specifics that I'll leave that to Ryan and I's conversations today and throughout the season. But we want to mirror our football team. All the things we've been talking about isn't that we weren't doing these things on offense throughout the year. We've done a lot of great things, but we want our offense to be a physical unit and dictate terms of the defense and play complementary football and get the ball to our playmakers frequently and in space, and let our quarterback play fast. So we're doing a lot of those things offensively. Just decided to go in a different direction. And one of those things was Gino's productivity, and this is something that I'm looking forward to building off of. I thought he had a really good year. I'm sure like when we had a conversation yesterday, but the feeling you get was he's proud of the things we did, but felt like we could have done a better job as an offense and as a team, and could have put ourselves in a position going into the tournament to go make. I mean, there's a certain mental makeup and character to you when you love the game by playing the game and not what the game does for you. And I think if you have that type of mentality, you're going to love the process that we have implemented here in this building. And we believe that if you do that, you do the right things, you're going to develop and you take your game to the next level. That's the first thing. But of course, I mean, this is a violent game. You got to be a physical football player. You got to be smart. You got to be dependable so your teammates understand you're going to be in the right spot. All those things are really important. And it is, you do have a head start on the rest of the league to a certain extent. So this is something we really have to make sure we take advantage of. This is a position we don't want to be in ever again. So hopefully, make the most of it. And now we're kind of springboarding into creating those opportunities. Learn the most. I think I talked about it earlier. It's just a clearer picture of what we need to do on a day in, day out basis. You're kind of applying principles and from your earlier experiences and leading on conversations and people throughout the building of kind of figuring out how it all works. And the first time you do anything is the first time you do anything. So you're working through all those things. But you have to be in constant learn mode. Otherwise, you're not going to evolve. So it's been an awesome year. I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened that you have to navigate through, and you got to trust your instincts and your values and philosophy to kind of push you through those things. So, and then with the team, I think we were at a tough spot in the middle of the season. It could have gone either way, and I think the way that our guys had an approach of kind of staying steadfast in what we're trying to do, the faith they had in me and the rest of the coaches, and the message that we were trying to create. And then hearing from the guys after the season about their feedback, I just think feel really strongly that we got the right guys, and they're really convicted and motivated to make this team a champion. I'm right there with those guys. I can how we message things, how we build it. That'll be a big part of how we build our offensive staff and how we build the system in the off season, and then obviously who's going to take the field for us is always going to help that too. Thought he's really grown as a person and a player, and he knows this. But to take his game to his next level is just consistency, doing it in, day out, down in, down out. But I think he's a heck of a player. Excited about his future. He's a fun guy to work with. just a great energy in the building, great energy for our football team. Kind of like a unicorn with his skill set. So he's a fun guy to work with, and we're excited about. There's a lot more opportunities to get our coaches in front of the players more, and there's a way that I can allocate my time through all three phases. Where when you're building a defense with a staff that you haven't worked with on 90% of those people, that takes a lot of time. And ultimately, I want to coach the whole football team, so my time will be allocated more throughout each other phase, which is great. That's all good stuff. But empowering our coaches and how I allocate my time.
All right, so there you go. And I think that, Mike really didn't say it as a firing, letting go, a difference of philosophy. And the bottom line is this. I just felt that it feels like Mike thought that the offense had too many offensive weapons to perform the way that they did. And because of that, the one person who was in charge of the offense was Ryan Grubb. And he's talked highly of Ryan Grubb, but he said it was a change of philosophy. You're asking what that is. We know the run and pass disparity numbers were there, but also there was just a lack of consistency in terms of how the offense performed. Sure, there was offensive line changes, and although Toomey came in for Connor Williams and Abe Lucas didn't start till week 10, and those kinds of things affected the play. But at the end of the day, Mike Macdonald felt that there was a lack of connectedness coaching with the players, and that's something that Macdonald is really big on. That is in terms of performance improvement, in terms of chasing the edges, and to do that you have to have a teaching mentality, which Grubb had, but it has to resonate with the players. And I assert that was just really part of the, when Mike looked at it and John looked at it, said, I'm not sure this is going to get any better. And as far as moving on the process, Mike Macdonald did reveal that the team has requested 2 slips to the NFL. So what that means is when you request 2 slips, you're asking to interview 2 coaches or 2 team personnel that are on an existing NFL team. So it looks like the search is already underway. Now, he was also asked if he, when he expects to hire somebody, and he said, it can go all the way to the end of the Super Bowl, because what happens is that coaches that are in the playoffs, you can't hire them until they're out of the playoffs. So he kind of left it vague, but obviously by that revelation, they really want to get this done. They have an idea of who they want, and we'll just see how that plays out. And as far as on the defensive side of the ball, Mike has said he's looking for the players to elevate, to take that next level and play with more consistency, be more dominant. One player that he mentioned out that he has talent and wants to see him play with more consistency is Rick Woolen. And he said, he's such a unicorn in terms of all his talent, had a good year, want to see him raise his talent level, and same thing with Byron Murphy. And so everything's on the table is what Macdonald said, just in terms of, hey, what is he going to take a look at as he continues his continual quest to make this team better. And right now, we'll just have to see what moves they make in terms of the offseason, in players they're bringing in. And he said, yes, he wants Geno Smith to return, and there's no reason why he shouldn't. And John Schneider makes the ultimate decision, but he said he will be involved in some of, the free agency discussions. All right, from the VMAC in Renton, I'm Alfredo Mara here, the CascadiaSports.net report. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.